At long last, Nancy Drew Stay Tuned for Danger has been re-released on the Her Interactive website. It needs to be said that I didn't expect this at all. I went to their website having hoped for some announcement of Midnight in Salem and walked in on Stay Tuned for Danger on the day it was released. I am one lucky son of a gun. Starting off, this is the second game in the Nancy Drew video game series, and I do need to confess that I did not beat Stay Tuned for Danger the first time it was released. I got stuck. 9-year-old me was super frustrated, and by the time I even wanted to try playing it again, my computer had evolved beyond the ability to run the game. Which brings us to now. Retribution, my friends. I was going to play the shit out of this game. I was going to show past me that I wasn't stupid enough to get stuck again, and it was going to be amazing. And then I got stuck again. Oh my god. I got stuck again in the same place. God damn it. I will come back to that later on, but for now I'm going to save myself some embarrassment and move on to actually reviewing the game. Starting off, the storyline in Stay Tuned is the best selling point this game has to offer. If you don't already know, Nancy is invited to New York by a soap opera star and friend of her Aunt Eloise in order to investigate the death threats of her co-star Rick Arlen. Our suspects are two of Rick's ex-lovers, the network owner, the show's producer, and one of Rick's ex-talent agents. I have to say personally, I had a hard time finding out who the culprit was until the very end. The characters' motives and the evidence you find keeps you wondering who it could possibly be until the very end. It's pretty damning for everyone, I think. Moving on, I would love to talk about the graphics on this bad boy. This game is definitely a product of the 90s. It is really hard to take Rick Arlen seriously as a celebrity heartthrob when they show us things like this. Or this. This isn't even the worst thing they've brought to life using the magic of computers. That award goes to Millie Strathhorn.
Hello there. Oh, are you a visitor? According to the policy's memo dated July 14th, 1954, no one is permitted in the prop room, except for those people permitted in the prop room.
Is there a condition that explains her eyebrows? Why would the animators do this? This had to be more work for them. This is not even remotely how anyone looks when they talk. I just don't understand. Aside from the occasional conversation with a suspect, the visuals in this game aren't that bad. No Nancy Drew game has Forza-level graphics, but Stay Tuned for Danger's quality isn't unpleasant. Granted, you're pretty much only ever looking at hallways, so meh. While the plot could be described as the best thing about this game, the gameplay mechanics are easily the worst. Yes, this was the second installment. They were still working out the kinks. But if you haven't played this game yet, you need to know that. The controls are awful.
I need something to make this work. I need something to make this work. I need something to make this work. I need something to make this work.
Just like in real life, I need to swipe this 12 times before I can get in, all the while you pretend it's not actually happening. Remember way back in the beginning when I said I got stuck again in my adult years like an imbecile? I forgot to grab some object in the game right here. Some very easy to find small red dot on the screen. And that was my bad. Game. I will go back now, and I'll just go back and I'll grab that object. Oh, what was that game? I didn't grab them the first time, and because I didn't grab them the first time, I deserve to rot in hell? Oh, okay. No problem. I will just quietly die now. Once I realized I was so stuck that I needed to start the entire game over, I followed a walkthrough. And while I would normally feel a little ashamed of myself, I wasn't going to risk getting stuck again, not know what part of the game I was stuck in, what tiny corner of a book I didn't click on, and start over, feeling more frustrated and ashamed than ever. I'm not going to cover the puzzles very much, but what I do have to say has spoilers regarding the end of the game. And I'm not going to unmask our culprit, but I am talking about the finale. So if you don't want to listen, please skip ahead to the time I have listed on the screen. There is a link right there. To escape our pursuer, we have to turn on a fire alarm and then solve a timed puzzle to open the emergency doors. Why? Why wouldn't the security guard have access inside? He's trying to get in. Why wouldn't the emergency fire alarm override the locks on the door? Why would the door release require you to complete a puzzle that randomizes every time you need to solve it? Nancy, just let me grab the axe next to the fire alarm. I will either murder the villain or use my dying breaths to hack this stupid puzzle to pieces. Ultimately, there are just a couple of questions you have to ask yourself. And for me, the first one is, was it fun? And the answer is yes, it was absolutely a lot of fun to play until I had to follow a walkthrough to the letter to get through this thing. Would I recommend this game? Definitely not to somebody who's never played a Nancy Drew game before. But if you are an avid fan and you're willing to look past all of its blemishes, then there is a fun story beneath it all. I would give this game a 6 out of 10, maybe a 6.5 if you count those drool-worthy pictures of Rick Arlen. But what did you guys think? I would love to hear your opinions on this game in the comments below. I know, and I hope that you know, that this is just one person's opinion, but I personally think I made some pretty good arguments for this game and against this game. I would really love to know what you guys thought.